Jaya Shri Abhay Chandan bin Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON BBT Sansthapak Acharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yasupal Brahms Prajakacharya Stotra Sita Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Shri Radhe Shyam Sundar ki jai. Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Gaurnitai ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to Supreme devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Supreme devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Supreme devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, entitled Samambonam. Chapter 74, entitled The Deliverance of Shishupal, text number 26 to 30. So I'll just read 26 to 29. Shutva dubhe ritam raja gyatva hardam sabhashadam samarhayad rishikesham Prita pranaya vibhala. Translation. The king was delighted to hear his pronouncement of the Brahmanas, from which he understood the mood of the entire assembly. Overwhelmed with love, he fully worshipped Lord Krishna, the master of senses. Tatpada avanijyapaha kirsaha Shirasa loka pavanihi sa bharyaha sanuja matyaha sa kutumbo vahammuda vasobhi pita kauseyer bhusanaischa mahadhanahi aha iva vasru purnakso naskata samavekshitum. Translation. After bathing Lord Krishna's feet, Maharaj Yudhishthira joyfully sprinkled the water upon his own head and then upon the heads of his wife, brothers, other family members and ministers. That water purifies the whole world. As he honored the Lord with presentations of yellow silken garments and precious jeweled ornaments, the king's tear-filled eyes prevented him from looking directly at the Lord. Text 29. Ittam sabhajitam vikshya sarve pranjalayo janaha namo jayati nemustam nepetu pushpa vrastyaha. Translation. When they saw Lord Krishna thus honored, nearly all who were present joined their palms reverentially, exclaiming, "Obeisances to you, all victory to you," and then bowed down to him. Flowers rained down from above. Text number 30. Please repeat after me. Ittam namasya damagosha sutta swapita. Uthaya Krishna Gunavarna Jata Manyu. Utshipya Bahun Idam Ahasadya Yamrasi. Samastra Vayam Bhagavate Purushanya Bhitaha. Itam nishamya bhatam aghosha suta swapitat. Uthaya Krishna guna varnaya jata manyuhu. Utshipya bahun idam ahasats yamrasi. Samshavayam bhagavate purushanya bhitah. Itam nishamya dhamagosha suta swapitha. Uthaya Krishna guna varna jata manyuhu. Utshipya bahunidam ahasadya sadasyam rasi. Samshavayam bhagavate parushanya bhita. Itam nishamya dhamagosha suta swapitha. Utshipya bahunidam Uthaya Krishna guna varna jata manyuhu. Utshipya bahumidam ahasadasyam rasi. Sarvashamya bhagavate purushanya abhita. Itam nishamya dhamagosha suta swapitha. Uthaya Krishna guna varna jata manyuhu. Utshipya bahunidam ahasadasyam rasi. Samshavayam bhagavate parushanya bhitah.
Itam nisamya tamagosha sutta swapita. Uttaya Krishna guna varnana jata manyu. Utshipya bahom idamaha sadasyam rasi. Shravyam bhagavate parushani abhitaha.
Ushipya Baho Nidama Sadasyamasi Samsravayam Bhagavate Parushani Amita. Mataji. Udhaya Krishna Gunavarnana Jatamanyu. Ushipya Bahum Idama Sadasya Mahasi. Samsravayam Bhagavate Parushanya Vitaha. Idam Nishamya Tamagosha Sudha Swapita. Udhaya Krishna Gunavarnana Jatamanyu. Ushipya Bahum Idama Sadasya Mahasi. Samsravayam Bhagavate Parushanya Vitaha. Idam Nishamya Tamagosha Sudha Swapita. Udhaya Krishna Gunavarnana Jatamanyu. Ushipya Bahum Idama Sadasya Mahasi. Samsravayam Bhagavate Parushanya Vitaha. Idam Nishamya Tamagosha Sudha Swapita. Udhaya Krishna Gunavarnana Jatamanyu. Ushipya Bahum Idama Sadasya Mahasi. Samsravayam Bhagavate Parushanya Vitaha. Word-to-word translation, please repeat after me. Uttam, Itam, thus, Nishamya, hearing, Dhammaghosha Sutaha, the son of Dhammaghosha, Shishupal, Swa, his, Pitha, from the sea, Uthaya, rising, Krishna Guna, of the great qualities of Lord Krishna, Varnana, by the descriptions, Jata, aroused, Manyu, whose anger, Utshipya, waving, Bahun, his arms, Idam, this, Aha, he said, Sadasi, in the midst of the assembly, Amrashi, intolerant, Samsarvayam, addressing, Bhagavate, at the Supreme Lord, Parushani, harsh words, Abhitaha, having no fear. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The intolerant son of Dhammaghosha became infuriated upon hearing the glorification of Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities. He stood up from his seat and, angrily waving his arms, fearlessly spoke to the entire assembly the following harsh words against the Supreme Lord. Please repeat after me. The intolerant son of Damaghosh, became infuriated upon hearing the glorification of Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities. He stood up from his seat and angrily waving his arms, fearlessly spoke to the entire assembly the following harsh words against the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada writes, in that meeting, King Shishupala was also present. He was an avowed enemy of Krishna for many reasons, especially because of Krishna's having stolen Rukmani from the marriage ceremony. Therefore, he could not tolerate such honor of Krishna and glorification of his qualities. Instead of being happy to hear the glories of the Lord, he became very angry. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti mentions that the reason Shishupal did not object when Sahadeva proposed Krishna for the Agra Puja is that Shishupala wanted to ruin Dhritarashtra's sacrifice. If Shishupala had argued earlier against Lord Krishna's receiving the first worship and another person had been selected, the sacrifice would have been proceeded normally. Therefore, Shishupala allowed Krishna to be selected, waited until the worship was over, and then spoke up, hoping that in this way to demonstrate that the sacrifice was now spoiled. Thus he would ruin the endeavor of Maharaj Yudhishthira. In this regard, the Acharya quotes the following Smriti reference: Apujyayatra pujyayante pujyanam cha vyakti kramaha. In the place where those who are not to be worshipped are worshipped, there is offense to those who are actually worshipable. There is also the following statement: Pratibhadhanati hi shreyaha pujya vyakti kramaha. Improperly understanding who is to be worshipped and who is not to be worshipped will impede one's progress in life. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swarupa Padamanayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagajatam Saganarugnathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishvanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kaltruvescha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaho Vishnupadaya Krishnamstaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Vestarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading about deliverance of Shishupal. This is the 10th canto Samabonam, and as we know, there is a big sacrifice going on, Rajasviya Yajna, in the assembly of Yudhishthira Maharaj in Indraprastha, and Krishna has been selected for Agra Puja, which is the main person to be given that position before the Rajasviya Yajna begins. That he is the one who is going to be the principal person to be worshipped. So Krishna has been chosen by the agreement of all the elevated individual elevated devotees, elevated devas, gurus, acharyas, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, many other demigods. They are all there in the assembly. And when the time came to select who should be worshipped for the Agra Puja, who should be worshipped before the beginning of the samskara, for the actual puja. So no one was speaking. So Sahadeva, who is the younger of the brothers of the Pandavas, he chose to speak because he was known amongst everyone to be very analytical and very knowledgeable. So he spoke, and he spoke about glorifying Lord Krishna without diminishing anybody else's position, because Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and all those learned individuals there, they knew who Krishna was. While for a lot of common people, Krishna was just a king over. Before that, he was a Gwala, and that is how Shishupal, going forward, he will try to insult Krishna. I shouldn't be saying this now, but it just came to mind now, that he is going to insult Krishna using those words, although Krishna doesn't see any derogation in that. But for a king to be a cowhead person, it is for a common, in a common society, it is considered derogatory because it's a Vaishya sort of a job. It's not Kshatriya. It's not a Kshatriya performance, Kshatriya act to look after cows. So for Kshatriyas to do anything like that, would look like that, it's not proper. So so when Sahadeva was speaking, he glorified Lord in all sense, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the creator, he is the annihilator, he is everything. And he is also inside every individual. That is Krishna, as Paramatma, isn't it? Lord Krishna expands as Paramatma in every individual, every living entity. Krishna is there, present there as Paramatma. So he glorifies Krishna in all the ways possible, and then he recommends Krishna's name for the Arga Puja. And all the learned Brahmanas and those who knew Krishna's position, they exclaimed, excellent, excellent, because there was nothing to oppose. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and who can be more qualified to receive the worship? So, everybody agreed, all the learned people agreed. Prior to Sahadev's speaking all this, there were some Brahmanas there who were not actually as qualified. They had some doubts because there are a lot of, like in common Hinduism, there is the same confusion, isn't it? That who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? In common Hinduism, there is Shivayas and the Vaishnavas, Shivayas and Vaishnavas. They always fight that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the others, the Vaishnavas, they consider Lord Vishnu to be. But no one actually picks up the book to read. No one actually picks up, like what Prabhupada says. They won't read, but they will just hear say, and then they think they know everything. That is what Prabhupada said. No one will pick up the Bhagavad Gita and study the way it needs to be studied. Even someone picks up, then what will they do? They'll try to find whatever they believe in. They won't actually, in all fairness, study Bhagavad Gita, what the actual literature says. They will just look at one verse which suits them, and another verse they'll try to leave that out. That's what Prabhupada had said. That, and then if someone is learned and they try to translate Bhagavad Gita, they'll translate with bias according to their own beliefs, not what is actually written in the book. And same with Bhagavatam. In fact, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada was the only, one of the first, we could say, pioneers of beginning to, or rather, he did a lot of translation in English language. Prabhupada was one of the pioneers of that. And then, after that, a lot of them followed, some of them with a little bias of their own mentality, own beliefs and own agendas. Whereas Prabhupada has presented everything as it is, as it's meant to be. So here, in the way the Brahmanas initially acted, those who were not qualified, we could say that they are influenced by their own bias, or they are not actually qualified. Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states that there were less intelligent members of the assembly who were undecided. But there were also most learned members like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, as we mentioned. Actually, and also Dvavai Panya, who is Vyasadeva, yet they all remained quiet. Although they knew it, but they remained quiet initially before Sahadeva spoke. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further advised that their personalities decided to keep silent. Although they knew it, but they decided to keep silent, because they wanted to see what the actual belief was of Yudhishthira Maharaj and his followers and his close associates. So it is said also that those learned people, they have their own beliefs, they know the truth, but they will not disturb other individuals, in their beliefs, unless they really have to be, or unless they are called for. So, and then when finally Sahadeva spoke, and who is considered to be expert and intelligent as well in analyzing things, and he spoke glorifying Lord Krishna and claiming that he is the most qualified personality there present in the assembly. So Krishna, as we said, he is unborn, isn't it? He is unborn. There is no beginning of Krishna. We are all parts and parcel of Krishna, and we are also Sanatan beings, isn't it? We are also parts and parcel of Krishna, and that also makes us eternal. That also makes us eternal, but not in this material body. So after all the glories, then everyone was satisfied. And when everyone had the glories of Krishna, who actually Krishna was, and who Krishna is, and then once they had all that, they all agreed. And then some of them, like you would say, that some of them would have known about the Akashvani before Krishna was born. And when Vasudeva and Devaki got married, and Kamsa was taking them home, then they heard about all that Akashvani came, and the words from the sky came and said that Devaki's eighth son will be the Supreme Lord. He will be the killer of Kamsa. The Lord himself will incarnate. They had heard all that in history. But when the time comes, because Krishna is so ordinary human being, he looks like ordinary human being. He presents himself as ordinary human being when he is respecting all the individuals present there. What initially Krishna did was, with the help of Sahadeva and Nakula, he went and washed everybody's feet like an ordinary human being. He washed the feet of all the invited guests. So he went and washed everybody's feet, and everybody would think that he's an ordinary individual, isn't it? So here what happens is, those Brahmanas who were not qualified enough, they just took him. Although the Akashvani was there, everybody had heard about that. But when the time comes when Krishna presents himself as an ordinary king, or as an ordinary relationship to Pandavas, they all consider him to be a ordinary human being. So now after Sahadeva spoke, and through his pronouncements, every Brahmana, they got sort of those who were like half undecided. What happened there? After Sahadeva spoke, glorified Lord Krishna, then they recalled, of course. It was, although he is presenting himself ordinary, but there was that Akashvani, and then they also hear that Krishna killed so many other demons. Then their faith reignites. And then they understand that yes, definitely there is nobody else apart from Lord Krishna to be glorified in this assembly. So, and then further going on, we read the verses. I'll just read the translation so that we can recall what Sahadeva had said about Lord Krishna. Text 26. Having said this, Sahadeva, who understood Lord Krishna's powers, sorry, that was the earlier verse from yesterday. So Sahadeva concludes by saying that therefore we should give highest honor to Krishna, the Supreme Lord. If we do so, we will be honoring all living beings and also our own self. So considering, how would glorifying Krishna mean that he is glorifying everybody else? Like we spoke, isn't it? That Krishna is present in every human being as Paramatma. So here, that's how Sahadeva concludes his glorification of Lord Krishna. And then after that, all the Brahmanas said that was excellent. So the actual process began, and that was from text number 26. The king was delighted, king means Yudhishthira, to hear this pronouncement of the Brahmanas, from which he understood the mood of the entire assembly. Overwhelmed with love, he fully worshipped Lord Krishna, the master of senses. So when we glorify Lord in his presence, in his absence, anywhere, what happens when we actually are glorifying the Lord? We might be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, every day, every morning. But when actual glorification is happening, how do we feel inside? Another thing, when we are actually singing Kirtan, how do we feel inside when we are concentrating fully on Kirtan, or when we are concentrating fully on when someone is glorifying Krishna? The moods are different, isn't it? So here, when Sahadeva glorified the Lord, and then all the Brahmanas agreed and said, excellent, excellent. They exclaimed with with energy, lot of energy, and they explained with lot of power, lot of support for what Sahadeva had said. Then what happens? Everybody started feeling, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, being a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, he felt so much love for Krishna, because Lord is glorified there and then, and that comes up naturally. And then what happens? He started serving Lord Krishna. And once he started serving Lord Krishna, then what happens is, his tears start rolling from his eyes. When you call someone, you have got such a advanced or such an excellent, exemplary personality in a assembly which you have called. This Maharaj himself has called this assembly, and he is now so pleased that Lord himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is present for his function. He is present there in person. So, and then he is glorified, and then he starts to, he's seeing that, he's feeling that tears are rolling down his eyes. So next translation of next verse, 27-28. After bathing Lord Krishna's feet, Maharaj Yudhishthira joyfully sprinkled the water upon his own head, and then upon the heads of his wife, brothers, other family members and ministers. We all, when we take Charnamrita, it's washed, Krishna's feet is washed in there. And when we take that, how do we feel? How do we feel? Are we really consciously taking Charnamrita? When we are taking Charnamrita, are we conscious about what it is? Here, we need to answer. So he shares that water from the Krishna's lotus feet with all his family members and his ministers. That water purifies the whole world. And the good example is, where does Ganga come from? We know that it comes from spiritual world. And how did it start from there? It was through Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, isn't it? And then it washes Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. And then it comes through Lord Shiva's head. And then it comes into Ganga, into the river system. Then once we realize what the river Ganges is giving us, then when we are taking a bath in river Ganges, how do we feel? If we go with that belief, every time we take a dip in river Ganges, then the feeling is different, the experience is different, other than just thinking that I'm taking a dip in a river. So here the whole family shares the Charnamrita from the Lord, and actually the ministers as well, from the Lord's lotus feet. As they honored the Lord with the presentations of yellow silken garments and precious jewel ornaments, the kings tear-filled eyes prevented him from looking directly at the Lord. So when someone is so much in ecstasy about feeling for the Lord, it's very hard to make eye contact with anybody for that matter. And then similarly here, King Yudhishthira was trying to avoid looking directly at Krishna because he was trying to avoid further emotions, isn't it? He was trying to avoid further emotions. So text number 29. When they saw Lord Krishna thus honored, nearly all who were present joined their palms reverentially, exclaiming, "Obeisances to you, all victory to you," and then bowed down to him. Flowers rained down from above. So everyone, when we are doing Aarti, when we are glorifying the Lord, at times we see there are children running, and then once or twice I have advised their parents that when we are glorifying the Lord here, Krishna here is no different from Krishna who was present in Yudhishthira's assembly. It's no different. So when we are doing Aarti, we are glorifying the Lord with essence. We are glorifying the Lord with ghee lamp. We are glorifying the Lord with water, with flour, with cloth. When we are doing that, we should have the same feeling. We should be glorifying the Lord at the top of our voice. That yes, we are glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead for that matter. So that is the mood which we need to have. And here, all the learned individuals, what they do? They are saying Jai to the Lord. Here, with the victory to the Lord, which is Jaikar, isn't it? In Hindi or in Sanskrit. They are doing Jai Jaikar of the Lord. They are glorifying the Lord. Just like when we are singing, when Aarti finishes, we say, Jai Radha Shamsundar, Jai Radha. That is the mood there. That is the mood. They are glorifying the Lord. Everyone is partaking in glorifying the Lord in that sense. So because they are all learned individuals and they know who they are glorifying. So text number 30. The intolerant son of Damabhos became infuriated upon hearing the glorification of Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities. He stood up from his seat and angrily waving his arms, fearlessly spoke to the entire assembly and the following harsh words against the Supreme Lord. So what happens here is, because if someone's heart is not purified and if someone's heart is disturbed against the Lord himself, and when there is envy, we all know why we are in this material world, isn't it? We all know that somehow there is some impurity in us, there was some impurity in us, there is some impurity in us, that we try to, we try to compare ourselves with Krishna, in other words, or some sort of envy, jealousy, some impurity developed in our heart. That is why we are in this material world, isn't it? So here we can see this Shishupal had a lot of animosity towards Lord Krishna, because of other reasons as well as because he had killed so many demons, and Jarasandha, all were their friends. And then the last and the final bit was Krishna eloped with his bride to be, with Rukmani. And we can say bride to be, but Krishna meant we know who was the husband of Rukmani to be. It never was Shishupal, it never will be Shishupal, it's always Lord Krishna. Rukmani is Lakshmi herself, isn't it? And a similar episode also happened when the chaining of the milk ocean was happening. Then what happened? Lakshmi also came up from there, isn't it? And when Lakshmi came up, all the demons and the devatas, they were thinking that she is going to choose them, or they are going to own her. And when Lakshmi did not choose anybody, devatas knew that who she was, more or less. They knew, and then they approached Lord Vishnu that what is going to happen. If the demons take Lakshmi, then they'll use her for all the wrong purposes. Isn't it? Lakshmi also means all sorts of opulences. With Lakshmi comes all sorts of opulences. So they will misuse all that. So they went to Lord, and then Lord said, "You don't worry, I'll be coming." So Lord came, and then Lakshmi chose Lord Vishnu as her consort. So that's what happened there. And similarly here, Rukmani is no different. She is Lakshmi, and she knows that there is no one else in this material world for her other than Lord Krishna. So she sends the message to Lord Krishna to come and take her. And she also told him how they will work the process. And Krishna was like for a girl in those days to work out all the plans. Krishna sort of acted surprised, but he knew that she is none other than his expansion, isn't it? Pardon me. So here we could say that Shishupala is no different from the other demons who were there during the time of Samudra Manthan. That he is no different. He is also one of the demons here. But I mean, we can say that he is acting a part of a demon. Shishupala actually is Nitya Parshad of Krishna, Nitya Parshad of Vishnu from Vaikuntha, isn't it? So here he is acting or enacting as Shishupala, and Shishupala is considered to be a demon. And he has got all demoniac qualities, so he is comparing himself with Krishna. He is thinking that he is equal to Krishna, and he is probably thinking he is better than Krishna and more deserving of Rukmani than anybody else. So he has that animosity towards Krishna. And because of that animosity, he cannot see who actually Krishna is, isn't it? He cannot see who actually Krishna is. Krishna is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, I mean, I have just made one parallel with one of the other things from the Bhagavatam, which was the Samudra Manthan and the demons and demigods at that time when Lakshmi herself came up. So we as human beings, we as learned individuals, we as disciples or we could say Siksha disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and we are learning from Srila Prabhupada's literature, we need to understand what our Bhagavad Dharma is, isn't it? We need to understand, there's lots to say but there's not. We need to understand what is our Bhagavad Dharma. We are eternal servants of Krishna. We are eternal servants of Krishna, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Whatever, we are minutest, we could say, energy of Krishna. And then what is our Bhagavad Dharma? Our Bhagavad Dharma is to follow our acharyas to go back home to Krishna, isn't it? We are fallen souls, we have fallen because of our impurities. Now we need to draw our purity back, and then from all this, and then go back, live a life of a bhakta. Or actually we are practicing to be Krishna's servants. So when we are practicing to be Krishna's servants, there is a way of life given by our acharyas, and that way of life we have been given on silver plate. This from Srila Prabhupada. So we are also deeply bound to glorify Srila Prabhupada on this day when actually ISKCON was incorporated in the US. I won't say much, but it was incorporated. Actual date was 13th of July 1966, and the place and the address of the actual operation those days was only, we know that it was just a shop front, and at 26 2nd Avenue, New York City. And the location was named as Matchless Gift. It was the bookstore for ISKCON. Prabhupada used to print books and sell from there. And Prabhupada, when he incorporated this body, there's lots to read. He's given what would be the actual activity of this organization. He is telling everyone that this is the organization. In his initial registration of the company, that this is the organization which is going to bring peace to the universe. There are I think 8 goals he has written in the registration. I could send it to whoever is interested. And then the initial structure of ISKCON was there were 9 trustees and 3 officials. The officials were the president, secretary, and treasurer. Brahmananda Prabhu was president. Sat Swarupa Prabhu was secretary, and Garga Muni was treasurer. And there were 9 other trustees. And the Prabhupada had made it that it will be on rotating basis. Every year, 3 of the trustees will retire, and then new 3 trustees will be coming in every year from their AGM. So that was the structure Prabhupada did, and I believe that similar thing is happening with our GBCs. People come and go in the GBCs, and they are appointed as members, they are appointed as presidents, and so forth. So that is the structure which is still being followed to some essence, to some extent. So that is, we should all glorify Srila Prabhupada on this day for bringing Krishna to all of us. Like what Yudhishthira Maharaj, after glorifying Krishna, he felt so much love for Krishna. Prabhupada is no different to us. We should be glorifying Prabhupada every day of our lives, being his Siksha disciples. We should be glorifying Lord Krishna. We should be glorifying this organization, in fact. International Society for Krishna Consciousness, because it is Krishna's organization. And when Prabhupada was asked that let us name this organization as International Society for God Consciousness, what did Prabhupada say? Prabhupada said that no, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and Prabhupada had no shame in saying Krishna is the Supreme Lord to the whole world. Although there are different beliefs, different belief systems, people name God differently, people call different names to their own gods in the way they pray. Even in Hinduism, people pray to different deities. So Prabhupada very boldly said, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the Supreme Personality of God and Lord Krishna. He had no shame in it because he had the knowledge. So we are following a very knowledgeable Acharya. So we should be proud of him. We should have all the love and regard for Prabhupada for doing what he has done. Okay. So I'll conclude my class here. Let's if anybody has any questions, and please add to whatever clarification I have done, because I'm also learning in the process, and while discussion we can just add and correct and learn in the process. Anybody has any questions, any comments, suggestions? Anybody has more to add to today's anniversary of incorporation of Srila Prabhupada's organization, International Society for Krishna Consciousness?
It's 7 principles.
Yes.
7. Yes. You want to read the 7 out for everyone?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hare Krishna. The purpose for which the incorporation is organized this is from the actual registration data, to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of value in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. Number 2, to propagate a consciousness of Krishna as it is revealed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Number 3, to bring the members of the society together with each other and nearer to Krishna, the prime entity, and thus to develop the idea within the members, the humanity at large, that each soul is part and parcel of the quality of Godhead Krishna. Number 4, to teach and encourage. Sorry, starts playing up. Oh, you got it there? You can.
To teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting of the holy name of God as revealed in the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Number 5, to erect for members and for society at large a holy place of transcendental pastimes dedicated to the personality of Krishna. Number 6, to bring the members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simpler, natural way of life. 7, with a view towards achieving the aforementioned purposes, to publish and distribute periodicals, magazines, books, and other writings.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else has anything to add to that, or say something else about the class? Okay, thank you. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanande. Thank you.
Kirtan, Adelaide. Leave a like and subscribe.